And next up, we have Narasimha and Akash from the SCOM product team to talk to us about System Center 2025. So let me go back to my Teams meeting. And Akash, I see that you're on board. Narasimha, welcome. Thank you so much for joining with us today.
Yeah,
I can hand things over to you.
yeah, thank you. Is it okay if I share my screen? Haral?
Absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can see a screen, Narasimha.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, everyone. This is Narasimha, joined with Akash, representing the product team of SCOM from Microsoft. Thank you for joining. I see great quorum for the session. And the agenda for this one is first few minutes, we will be covering the latest SCOM 25 release updates, and followed by further updates on SCOM MI and with a quick demo on the simplified onboarding for that. So as you can see, SOM's SC25 delivers very simplified data center management monitoring experience for the customers with more focus on security and infrastructure management with modernization capabilities, right? And as you can see here, with respect to the security as the first key criteria or fundamental, it supports TLS 1.3 version. And at the same time, all the legacy security protocols which are not being encouraged, like NTLM, CRED, SSPs, are being removed for most of the products, SC products, product lines. And also, actually, for DPM, we have integrated it into the Azure Key Vault for secure storage and management of the credentials. So considering that, and this DPM has now supports SailPoint subscription edition, expanding the backup capabilities of enterprise level applications. So that means full support for backing up VMware virtual machines using the VTPM, which means virtual trusted platform module. So with that new capability, DPM has much more advanced credential sharing mechanisms. Moving on, it also has support for Azure Stack HCI on the infrastructure management stack, where it supports 23H2 offering, it supports better deployment and management tools for virtualized networks. And it also has stronger, I would say, integration into the Azure Arc channels, where it simplifies the hybrid cloud environments, especially the SC25 integrates seamlessly with ARM, Azure Resource Manager, and enables RBAC using the Azure tools. So actually, it has, you might have recently heard about a few features coming out from the Azure Arc channels, where Azure Local is being announced, and also actually Azure Arc Gateway also being announced, where the customers do not need to whitelist multiple endpoints to connect the on-premises resources to the Azure. So these are the value adds for SC products. And at the same time, so it also has a modernization and simplified experience for the management. So it includes improved dashboards, monitoring tools, and it also delivers user-friendly interfaces at many instances for the various tools, right? And apart from that, it also has improvements on automation. So for example, Orchestrators now features improved runbook automation and integration of PowerShell scripting natively for task automation. So these are the few value adds with respect to the SC 25. This, as you can see, right, this also has strong compatibility checks with SC25 and previous versions. And this also, as we use WS25 servers, which includes latest security features inbuilt into the system flows. Any questions on this overall SC feature set with respect to the SE product portfolios. Can I move ahead? If there are any questions, maybe we can take them at the end as well, or Akash can help answering them at the end. Yeah,
I can take the questions from the chat. You can proceed.
Thank you. Yeah, moving on, as we were referring at the beginning of the session, right? So the next few minutes we will be spending on the latest and upcoming simplified onboarding for the SCOM MI, which really makes a lot of difference with the current experience and reduces the onboarding time also very drastically. Currently, we have seen that on average, a lot of customers are taking several days, maybe sometimes more, 45 days plus, to get the SCOM MI up and running. And after hearing the feedbacks from customers and from various sources, actually like including the CSS and all of folks, we try to simplify this SCOM MI onboarding at a very great level, which can be done now in several. Within few hours, we can say. The only requirement right now is SQL MI. I'll be walking you through the quick demo to make it a little quick. So just to recap, right? I hope my screen is visible. This is the current SCOM MI onboarding experience where we have almost 10, 11 big inputs, which we usually take to make things work. But out of these 11, right, most of the inputs are relating to somehow the on-premises AD-related objects. So, and due to various reasons, network policies, connection issues, credential expiration, and GMSA account-related issues, all these actually, even though after a lot of pain points, even if the customers are able to onboard successfully, but for day-end scenarios like scaling, patching, it was a little troublesome because customers can apply policies anytime where that impacts the overall scaling and patching experiences for them. So to solve all those problems, we tried to come up with a simplified experience where we removed almost all the important on-premises related inputs actually, which means, as you can see here, we are having 11 inputs. These are the main inputs. I'm not considering the other inputs such as tags or basic SCOM MI names and all. These are the primary inputs that we are taking right now. And that means there are 11 inputs that we are right now seeking from the customers. And at each of these stages, right, we have to ask the customers to create a VNet and create an SQL MI and VNet peering to the SCOM MI VNet and all that. That was taking a lot of time because many times customers have to get permissions from their internal security teams and all that. Now moving on. So basically, now if you look at this, right, now what will be the new experience for our SCOM customers with simplified onboarding? As you can see, in the previous experience, we have 11 inputs, but now we have only 3 inputs, which means we are moving away from taking the input of AD-related parameters, Active Directory-related parameters to AAD. And that means the SCOM MI will be working with AAD users than AD, and which means all the inputs relating to the network or on-premises related AD resource will not be required for that. So all these remaining inputs, whatever we are seeking even now, they are kind of pure Azure related inputs, and which can be fixed in a few minutes if they have the context of the object. So that's why we are seeing that currently the onboarding time will definitely come to a very great level, which means usually it will be less than few hours from 45 days plus. That's the value add that we're bringing with this simplified SCOM MI onboarding. Now moving on. So these are the 3 inputs that we are further seeking. So which means basically we are just making one SCOM SQLMI right now. And that we have SQLMI, we have to create one MSI, user assigned identity, and VNet peer has to be done between the SQLMI and SCOMMI. Other than that, we don't need any further inputs to make this happen. So once we start creating, yeah, I can quickly give the demo. I'll be just creating my resource. I'm just making it. I'm just making it in the VS 3, which is my test environment right now. And yeah, you can see, right, we are just taking the very regular very similar to other cloud native Azure experience, right? We are just taking the name of the SCOM that we're trying to create. And other than that, we just need to attach the VNet of that and subnet associated with this. And we can give whatever the name that we are seeking to give. So for example, usually we can give the same name as that of this one. And you can see the IP address earlier. The IP address also, it was troublesome, right? Many times the IP address were not valid and all that. To simplify that experience to a greater extent, we automated that. We tried to pull whatever is unused IP. In case if customers want to use manual or whatever the selected IP, they can do that as well. And after that, we can just use that. So this is the domain DNS that we are using. And post that, we just need to connect SQL MI associated with this. So we can select one of the SQL MIs associated with VS 3. And post that, we just need to select this one. And other than that, we don't need any further inputs on this. And we can click on the instance to create the SCOM MI. And it will take around 30 to 35 minutes right now to make this VMSS creation and creating the SCOM MI management servers, network connectivity between the SCOM MI to Azure SQL, SQL MI. And usually it is 30 to 35 minutes time frame. We are trying to see whether we can further reduce that as well. Moving on, just as it takes for a little time to get the resources provisioned in the backend, I have another instance where I provisioned for this demo. And you can see that these are the properties that we have for this. And for quick demo, so what I do is, how do we monitor the resources, right, for this? So what do we, once the SCOM is ready, we can go to any monitored resources and add any resource that we are interested in to monitor them. For example, as I was having instance in VS3 for simplicity, I'm selecting that, and I'll be selecting my resource group to filter them. And I can add at scale onboarding for these 3 resources. Basically, we are trying to see, we want to monitor these 3 resources. And before doing that, what I do is I will just go to my other ops console, which I installed to access this SCOM MI. So I'll just open it and show you that currently we do not have any missions. And yeah, right now ops console is not there. I'm just opening the ops console where, as you can see, right, I was saying we are using AAD than the AD user. So I'm using my AD account where the authentication will be done with this app, and I'm logging with my authenticator. Yeah, it is now getting in. Yeah. So now, if you look at the discovered missions, right now we have one agent This is the same mission actually. I added it as you can see in my portal as well. I'm just going to cancel this. You can see I have only one mission right now, which is being monitored, and in the ARMS console also, I see that. And this demo resource just I got deleted. I got that mission deleted from monitoring, and it has one management server and one agent. The agent is the same ops console mission I tried to monitor. And now what we do is we'll add a few more resources. And just to note, it can now support auto scaling at scale onboarding as well for these resources, and also show that these are auto upgradable, which means all these missions which comes with SCOM agents, they can be auto upgradable via the Azure channels. If there are ARC missions, they also get auto upgraded via the ARC platform. I'm just adding them, and now in the back end, it will try to get them updated, and all the agents will be automatically updated. It will automatically connect to this SCOM instance and the agent configuration, and all of them will be fully automated. And the connection will be established between the agents and gateway SCOM management servers. Just to FYI, a similar experience is there for gateways as well. They are fully managed by Microsoft via the SCOM. Yeah, I'll be refreshing to see the agents. Yeah, you can see, right? So these are getting onboarded, and this is the agent version that is being used, and further properties. And just to give you further properties, we have properties channel where all the main important properties can be seen here. And for day and scenarios, in case if you want to change auto upgradable scenarios, or if you want to disable auto upgrade for these agents or gateways, we can use this channel, this property to make that happen. And also initial for few minutes, there can be multiple entries for the same resource, because the MPs take little time to get populated on the backend, right? So now you can see that there are some properties which are not fully updated. You can see ARM resource IDs and few other properties especially for these agents, which will usually take few minutes to get that populated for all the resource. And so based on that, until we populate all the properties, they'll be treated as plain empty objects or on-premises, and in few minutes they will be upgraded to the Azure resource based on the availability of the those properties. Feel free to stop me actually anytime if there is any query. Yeah, as you can see, right, a few properties actually demo resource we added, and for the same demo resource, we can see other entries as well because of the duplicate MPs that are being executed in the backend. But in few minutes, they will get consolidated and get updated, and single view we can watch out for that. And same is the experience and for the remaining. And if there are any alerts on the missions, let us say if we bring up or make any agent or gateway down, it automatically pulls up the respective alerts into the alerts platform, which in turn gets integrated into the LA channels. We are actually having a plan to add more workbooks and more greater runbooks experience for these resources. As you can see, right, the data can be, actually I have not configured the LA, but these can be fully configured, and customers can add their own workbooks out of these alerts and metrics. We can see the Grafana experience as well. We have to integrate, we can integrate the Grafana also into the experience. So same, actually now if you are just in the interest of time, we can add any other roles very similar to the AD channels. So for example, here, if you look at this, we can add new user. Let me take some sample user. Yeah, now I'm adding him as administrator for this, and if we can just add this. Now, for this instance, he can log in with his, Akash can log in with his AD account, and the experience will be similar to AD. So that means basically at Uber level, there is no difference in the experience for the customers, whether they are coming from AD or AAD. So we try to use the same SCOM rules, whatever we have, so that it will be fully integrated into the AD at the same time. The same tools and files can be used as. So we prefer the SCOM, which means onboarding time very less. Current experience what. No, I think it is. Usually, I said like 30 minutes approximately. And I mean, the question. You can see. I could not see.
Yeah, so there have been multiple questions around the gateway, the use of SCOM MI, when to use, how to, what are the recommendations. I guess I've been able to answer them, but yeah, if there's anything else, anyone wants to unmute and ask, you can. This is the right time.
One question I see is Arc agent. So basically, the Arc agent, Azure Arc is a new solution platform where customers can continue using the on-premises resources, but they can connect to the Azure, where it will be represented as Azure resource, but actions will be performed on the on-premises. That's called Azure Arc. So Arc agent in the platform, right? So here in the experience, whatever you see, right? Here, the type of objects. So that means the objects can be of Azure VMs, they can come from Arc channel, or they can come from on-premises also. For example, you can see here, we have three types of resources: on-premises, Azure Arc, and Azure Virtual Machine. Azure Virtual Machine is which has a direct line of sight to the management servers. Arc is the one which has on-premises presence, but connected to the Azure via this Azure Arc. And on-premises is the resource which do not Arc, which was not Arc enabled, but at the same time, the data is being, or mission is being managed by the SCOM management servers. So in that case, for example, if any missions have direct line of sight to the management servers, we can see them here, right? We can see them here, even though they are not Arc enabled. In that case, we are segregating them or separating them to show them as on-premise resource. But after some time, as I said, like they will be purely being will be displayed in next few minutes. They will be consolidated and will be displayed. So on-premises usually indicates pure on-premises resources which are not Arc enabled but managed by the SCOM MI. The MPs usually takes 5 to 6 minutes to get the data populated for all these, and also all these objects, right? Has heartbeats mechanism integrated into the system where every SCOM MI will be sending the data to the our centralized data platform, and every 1 minute we'll be seeing these heartbeats and connectivity status from all the resources, and also you can see they can be enabled for at-scale operations. Either it can be configure or deletions or additions, actually. So at-scale onboarding is also possible with SCOM MI right now. Yeah. I think that's the end of the demo. If there are further questions, I can take up chat as well. Thank you. Anything? Are we good on the time?
Thanks, Narasimha. Yeah, I have requested for folks who viewed the demo as well as who got a glimpse of what's the latest in SCOM 2025 and SCOM Managed Instance to share a quick response to the survey. I've pasted the link to that survey on the chat. We really appreciate your inputs and feedback on that.
Yeah, that's great, guys. Thank you so much for that session. Really super great to see that simplified setup experience. I know that's something that we struggled with a little bit here, and it's wonderful to see that you've got that down to 3 steps, which is going to dramatically, I think, improve the the experience of getting that up and running. Akash, I do have a question, and looking at SCOM MI today, and there's information. It leverages log analytics for some of the information that's sent there. I mean, in the future, do you see some closer ties between SCOM MI and some of those underlying Azure Monitor services that we're starting to see?
Yes, yeah. So in what we envision is we first and foremost, SCOM MI is not a separate tool outside of Azure Monitor. It's a capability within Azure Monitor. Azure Monitor has multiple capabilities to monitor anything under the sun, specifically whatever is hosted on Azure as well as enabled through Arc. It can monitor VMs, network devices, containers, Linux machines, everything, right? SQL, all of those PaaS services, SaaS services, everything. So SCOM MI is one of the capabilities that allows existing SCOM users migrate to cloud as fast as possible while they can reuse the management pack. So in the future, we envision SCOM MI to be a completely built-in service of Azure Monitor. Again, onboarding, like how you saw how onboarding has become very easy. Similarly, we would want to streamline it further. And then what happens is whatever gets monitored by SCOM MI will be available in Azure Metrics, in Azure Resource Graph, and in Log Analytics for any kind of query, for any kind of dashboarding and reporting. So that's how we want to move forward.